my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's happening. It's happening. This is not a drill. Oh my lord. What's going on, everybody? What is going on? It happened. Oh my god, it happened. I gotta get set up here. I gotta get set up. I'm panicked. I'm panicked. Alright, we should be good. We should be good. Someone type in the chat. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I want to make sure that everything's set up here. I want to make sure everything's set up, that everyone can hear me so that we can go through this together. Guys, the Master Collector program is here. It's not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. Someone type in chat. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Oh my god, someone's typing in chat. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on here. What's going on? Gary, Omi Queen, Drizzy, Six, Kurt, Greg. What's going on? Excellent. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate that. Let me just throw out, give me 5 seconds here to throw out this announcement. No, I don't want to tweet at Veve official. All right, we'll put that out. Everyone, please share that on Twitter if you guys are watching right now. We're putting out the notification so that everyone knows that we have the article and we are going to go over it together. I am so excited, guys. I've been waiting for this. The second I saw that poll go out, I knew the article was going to be released. I pre-set up everything in the stream. I was ready to go. And here we are. Let's go. Let's go. Not a drill. Oh, this is great. This is great. Oh, man. Gonna wait until a couple more people stream in, and then we're going to go over it together, guys. We'll get some people in here, and we'll start going over it. I obviously haven't read it at all yet. I saw that it went live, and I immediately went live. So I have absolutely no idea what we're gonna see for this. Yeah, Craig, like right away. Like I said, I saw it pop up on my phone, and I was sitting here. I had my whole streaming set up ready. I saw that post go out, and I was like, for sure it's coming out. And so we're going to see what's up here. We're gonna see what's up. I'm gonna give people maybe 2 more minutes to come on by. I want to see how many people we can get in here at once. That way, no one's missing anything. Go ahead and like all this, obviously. And then once I give people about 2 more minutes to come on in, we're going to start going over this together, guys. And I'm very curious to hear your thoughts on everything. And yeah, this will be a straight up live reaction because, like I said, I have not seen or read anything. I read this far and then I went live. So this is going to be a lot of fun. We've been waiting for this for a long time, guys. And yeah, this is going to be great. This is going to be absolutely great. All right. All right. Yeah, we're in the 20s. I think we're pretty much good to get going here in a second. We got some people here, so we'll start reviewing it. And then obviously we may have to circle back at some point just to repeat some of the main talking points. But obviously this will be recorded for YouTube afterwards. So we will be able to watch it back for anyone that didn't get a chance to see it. And I'm obviously going to be interacting with you guys as much as I can throughout the day and go over this. This is going to be awesome. Kaser, thanks for dropping by. Annette, good to see you as always. Kaser, yeah, hit that like button. Yeah, you know what? I agree with that. We're gonna pin that. I like where your head's at with that one. Good call. Good call. Guys, what do you think of the new streaming setup that I have here? I'm doing something a little bit different, trying to make it a little bit more exciting and interactive with the chat kind of popping up in the thing. Make it, you know, for the streams anyways, feel a little bit more live. Let me know what you guys think about that. But anyways, we will get started, and without further ado, let's see what Veve has to say. So we got Veve fam, at long last, here is the initial outline of the Master Collector program, aka the MCP. Please note, this is a work in progress. Details are subject to change based on development and feedback. Okay, that makes sense. So obviously this is just a first iterative release that they have coming out. So they've obviously indicated that they're going to be putting out some more information about whatever changes and things come up. Pokidoki, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate that. Let us get some indeed. This is absolutely awesome, man. I'm so excited for this. This is great. So first iteration. So first time. So there will be measures in place to prevent users from exploiting, abusing, or otherwise gaming the system. So don't make any rash decisions about your collections or purchasing activities based on this article. There is a form linked in the article to submit feedback. Go ham. Okay, interesting. So they're saying there's going to be measures in place, obviously, to make sure that we're not taking advantage of it immediately. And I would imagine, and I'm sure we'll get into it in the actual article, that this is not actually going to be live as of today. This is the initial release or outline of what they have coming out, but it won't actually be the program that we necessarily see whenever that comes out. All that said, let's dig in. It's a lot to digest, so please take your time with it. We'll also answer any questions about the article in tomorrow's Veve AMA at 3 p.m. Pacific on Twitter Spaces. Okay, awesome. So I think they've obviously lined this up with the intention of having the AMA afterwards. They knew that they were going to be releasing this article, and so now they've lined that up and they're ready to kind of go over it. So let's take our first look at it, guys. This is exciting. Okay, let's close that. First look, Veve Master Collector Program. The Master Collector Program will bring exciting benefits to every Veve collector. Here's a look at the work in progress. It's an 11-minute read. So yeah, definitely going to have a little bit to go through, but we're going to get through it together, and it's going to be good. So we're very excited to finally share a first look at the details behind how the Master Collector Program will work on Veve. The Master Collector Program is a new loyalty program available to all users designed to reward active Veve collectors. So, a loyalty program, obviously we knew that already, and it's designed to reward active collectors. So right away, my initial impression, not pay to win. I would hope not, at least, because if you're rewarding active collectors, that should encompass not just holding the collectibles, but a lot of other things. So we'll keep diving in. Through the MCP, collectors can level up by being an active Veve collector, completing objectives, all while gaining benefits and rewards in a quest to reach the highest level of Master Collector. Yeah, so like I said, makes perfect sense, right? So it's not just going to be about holding collectibles, it's going to be about completing objectives as well. So that's absolutely fantastic. Daniel, what's going on? No, I'm going to read things and then we're going to go over it together, right? Like obviously we're going to discuss ideas and stuff. I'm not just going to read it out to you word for word. We're going to elaborate on things, but we got to give a little bit of context. Not everyone watches the screen when they listen to the videos. So it's important to kind of give people the information and then branch out afterwards. But I do hear you. Don't worry. It won't just be a read. I know you guys can do that on your own. The Master Collector Program is the new loyalty program available to all users designed to reward Veve collectors. Through the MCP, collectors can level up by being an active Veve collector. Yeah, so, okay. So completing objectives. Dive into all the exciting details. All right. Please note, this is a work in progress plan. The information below is the initial outline. Yes, we know it's the initial outline. Oh, look at this. We got legal terms here. In this article, a collectible refers to all items that can be purchased in the Veve store, example, 3D collectibles and digital comics. Okay, so that encompasses everything that we have on the store right now, but maybe the definition of a collectible will extend over time as they roll out different types of fandoms, whether it be like, let's say music or something like that. Like maybe certain types won't count, but for this point, every collectible that we currently have on the app would count. So that's good. There will be measures in place to prevent users from exploiting, abusing, or otherwise gaming the system. Yeah, so they mentioned that in the tweet already. And then let's take a quick look at the form just so we can see what the form looks like before we go through it. Okay, interesting. So, I mean, these are obviously some of the things that we're going to be covering today while we talk about it. So points, levels, ranks, badges, drop lottery, accessories, premium marketing listings, Master Collector Program Pro. So these are all the things that we're likely going to get into in this article. That's quite a bit of things that we can dive in on. And it seems like with this form, you can just put in your suggestions or concerns about whatever you have with what we're reading. So while we're going along, guys, I mean, you can always be online, and if you don't agree with something, you know, fill it in right away. That way they have the feedback as soon as possible. They will obviously be reviewing everything. So let's see what we have here. Summary. All Veve app users are automatically enrolled in the MCP. Okay, so automatic enrollment obviously means you don't have to pay for it. So that's good. So right away we know that there's no barrier to entry in that regard. Everyone is going to be receiving points for the collectibles that they own and for the engagement on the app. Points will be awarded retroactively to all active Veve users. So we did know this already, but this is important to see that it is covered as well. So what this will mean is that if you started collecting back in March or January or even last year or last week for that matter, you will be getting points retroactively for every day that you held those collectibles and for purchasing those collectibles on the marketplace. So that's awesome. I'm glad that they included that. All new Veve collectors are entered into the MCP starting at level 0. Okay, so level 0, I guess, is a level. I would have thought level 1, but sure, level 0, that works as well. So we know that we're all going to be starting at level 0. For those of you that have already been collecting, you will receive those retroactive points, so you'll never see level 0, but level 0 is the lowest. Collectors level up by earning points from in-app activity. Okay, straightforward. Collectors can earn one-off points and or daily recurring points. Now, I know this has been a point of contention in the community recently. People have heard rumors that you will not receive points for collectibles that you traded between accounts and didn't buy off of the marketplace. So I'm going to look to see whether or not that's addressed in the article or not. I don't know if any of you guys heard that or not, or if it's something that you guys have your own thoughts on. But it's good to see that you'll be earning one-off points for different activities and, of course, daily recurring points. Once the required points are earned, the collector will proceed to the next level. Okay, so it looks like you will move forward in levels. I'm curious to see what will happen if you can regress in levels, meaning that, hey, I earned points from holding collectibles. If I then sell those collectibles, do I lose those points? Do my points go down, or do those stay the same? So we'll see what they get into when we get to that, but I'm curious to see the answer. Collectors can spend earned points on various features and products within Veve. Spending points does not affect your level or rank. Interesting. So you can spend points, which would logically mean that you're losing said points, but it doesn't affect your level or rank. So I guess points are maybe earned alongside your level or something to that regard. I guess for that, because it doesn't affect, that would mean that you wouldn't lose points if you sold the collectibles. Like once you've earned the points, you always have those points unless you choose to spend them. Collectors also will earn a ranked based on their level and points earned. Makes sense? A collector's rank position is determined by their activity relative to other collectors. So we know that Dan Carruthers actually touched on this when he gave us the sneak peek for this article being released a week or two ago. And he was saying, you know, we all start at a specific level. In this case, we now know it's level 0. You will earn points as time goes on, but as other people earn points, it's a percentage. So let's say for Master Collector, it's only the top 3%. You may be earning points and be in the top 3%, but then if another percentage of people comes in and passes you, then you're no longer a Master Collector, even though you have that many points. I really like that system. Mr. Anomalous looks good for getting points for low mints. Okay, we'll get to that. That's good. That's good. I'm a little worried about Omi that was said to be used to get into drops and accessories. So why would anyone want to burn the token for access? Looking forward to that answer. Yeah, we'll definitely discuss that. And Kurt Reese addressed it this morning during the AMA. He said you won't receive points for the trade that happened off app. Usually should have happened on app, but you'll still receive points for holding as usual. Okay, that makes perfect sense, Kurt. Thank you for that clarification. That is something that I've been saying for a few days now. I know everyone was worried, but at the end of the day, the app was created to ensure that licensors get royalty fees. And if you're doing private trades and stuff outside the app, good for you. Like, that's fine, whatever. Like, obviously Veve has a different stance on it. I personally don't care too much, but at the end of the day, if you don't purchase it off of the app, or on the app, I should say, and you purchase it off the app, then yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? So level points. In order to level up, a collector must earn points. Points are awarded to collectors for in-app activity. For example, points can be earned for one-off actions, such as purchasing a collectible and or earned daily by owning collectibles or holding completed sets. Okay, and then like I said, we've discussed this. This makes perfect sense. If it doesn't make sense to anyone, let me know in the comments and we can go through that. But for me, I think that's fairly straightforward. Once earned, points can be spent on various in-app items and are non-transferable. Okay, so the points are non-transferable. You still will likely be able to send collectibles and things of that nature, but you will not be able to transfer points. That makes sense, because then people would buy people's points off of them, and it would give them an unfair advantage, and it would become pay to win. So I like that they've added that. Points can be earned from the following activities. Okay, here we go. We're getting into the meat and potatoes here. One-off points. Oh, interesting. It's not like a 1-point scale. Okay. 100 points when completing new user onboarding. So for those of us that are already on the app, I'm assuming that everyone that's watching this live already has a Veve account. For those of you that may be watching this back in the future that are thinking about signing up or just onboarded, you'll be receiving 100 points when you complete the onboarding. You get 100 points when you complete a set. Okay, interesting. So it doesn't seem to matter what set you complete. Like, for instance, the Kripkins has like 11 characters or whatever, whereas Superman's a 1 of 1. It doesn't seem to matter. As long as you have a completed set, it's 100 points. Now, do duplicates count? Oh, it says something about that below, so I'll leave that thought for later. 25 points when purchasing collectibles in the store. Okay, interesting. So you'll still get points for holding collectibles that you traded outside the app, but you'll get points from having bought them in the primary or secondary marketplace. So they're really focusing on making sure that people aren't trading outside the app. And by adding this as an incentive towards MCP, they're basically guaranteeing their licensors that the vast majority of people will want to conduct activity on the app, therefore making the royalties available to the licensor rather than transferring it. That's interesting. I like that they did that. 15 points when purchasing collectibles in the market. Okay, so, So I guess store is the secondary market, or market would be the secondary market? I'm not sure about the language behind this. Does anyone have a thought on this? So 25 points when purchasing collectibles in the store. I'm assuming that's the primary market, and then 15 points when purchasing collectibles in the secondary market is how I'm going to interpret that. If anyone else feels differently, let me know. Plus a variable amount when earning an achievement badge depending on achievement type. Oh, interesting. So there'll be achievement levels. I like that. I like that a lot. SoCal Omi Homie, how long until someone creates a calculator for us to use retroactively to figure this stuff out? Not too long. I'm going to be working on creating a calculator on it later today, to be honest with you. And there might be people that are more well-versed to doing it than me, but I'll be looking at putting something together for the community, and I'll definitely keep you posted if and when that gets done. Daily recurring points. Collectors can earn daily recurring points based on their collection and in-app activity. Yep, we know this. Let's see what it is. Collectibles. 1 point is given for each collectible owned. Okay. If duplicate collectibles are held, these will be subject to diminishing points. Okay, we talked about this. This makes sense. Second collectible, 0.75 points. Third collectible, 0.35 points. And 4 collectibles or more, 0.1 points, but there does not appear to be a limit. So it is forever, essentially. So if you held 1,000 of one collectible, you would earn 100 points for that, for holding 1,000 collectibles. Plus, if it completes a set, you would get 100 points for completing a set. But it seems like you will only get 100 points for completing a set once. It doesn't say anything about completing sets for duplicates. Like, I don't see that clarification yet. Maybe it's further below. We will see. Collectible bonus points. Collectibles of specific rarities and or mints will receive bonus points. Okay, interesting. So mints is included. Rarity bonus points. So you get an extra 0.2 points for a rare, 0.3 points for an ultra rare, and 0.5 points for a secret rare. Wow. Okay. So I think what this will allow them to do, guys, is increase the amount of commons that are available and even uncommons in a specific set, so that while more people on board, they can ensure that they still have the collectibles that they can purchase. You know, if we have 5 million people and we're only doing 30,000 collectible drops, that's not going to be good for anyone, right? Long term. So they can make a bunch of common and uncommons that are just meant to be mass adopted. And yeah, they may not sell for a lot in the secondary market, but you collect them just because you want to be a part of the fandom. But then these rare, ultra rare, and secret rares, which in their own right have less mints, will also give you bonus points. That's awesome. That's very interesting. Low edition bonus. 0.5 points for collectibles with a sub 150 mint. Interesting. Okay. 0.5 points for digital comics with the first 150 available to the public. Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so I'm actually a little surprised, and I haven't seen the full point breakdown, so it's possible that it's balanced, and I'm sure they ran the numbers. I'm a little surprised you only get half a point for collectibles with a sub 150 mint, because for a lot of those, the first 40, or in some cases the first 90, are held by Veve. So there's very few sub 150s that are floating around. But if you get an extra half a point, that will further increase the value of all of those sub 150 mints. And for people like Henry Pagliuca or Ray Fixie or other people that focus on, low mints and collecting those collectibles, this is huge. This could really start to add up for people. Because let's say you're holding a secret rare sub 150, you're now getting a whole extra point for holding that. That's pretty crazy. And when you consider the fact that there's diminishing returns, it's not like someone could just go out and buy a bunch of cheap comic books or Marvel Mighties, whatever the case may be, to offset you holding that more expensive, relative likely, because it's a secret rare, collectible, because they would have to buy like infinitely more. They would have to buy 20 for every one that you have in order to have that be worth the same point for Master Collector. That's very interesting, and I'm very glad to see that they did that. So Callum, I think low edition bonus should be a percentage of the size of the edition number drops, i.e. top 5%. Yeah, that's another thought that I've had when I'm reading through this right now. Sub 150, sub 150 will always have the same amount available relative to the total drops. So the top's 10,000, 100,000, 1,000. That doesn't really matter. But at the same time, I get what you're saying for sure. Evan says, Alone says, it looks like a fair approach and it's kind of what I expected. Yeah, honestly, so far, this is, I don't want to say it's better than what I expected, but it seems like they've put a lot of care into balancing the system thus far. And I have to say, I'm very impressed with what they've done so far. Evan says, if someone gets a Peggy Carter and gets the one-time plus 100 for the set, and then they transfer that collectible to someone else, do they also get that plus 100? If they purchase it in the marketplace and it completes a set and they don't already own a set, yes, they would. They would get that point for sure, or that 100 points, I should say. If they sold, like if I transferred it to you and you paid me in USDT or OMI or whatever outside of the app, then no, they would not get that 100 points. But it would be limited likely to one. Like if you've already, I'm sure they have a contingency in place that like if you've already purchased a Peggy Carter and then you sell it to someone and then you buy another Peggy Carter, it's probably not going to give you another 100 points, right? Like that 100 points that you earn for completing that set has already been completed. I could be wrong, but I feel like if that wasn't the case, that would be a flaw in the system because that could be abused where you could just sell something back and forth to people, a one of one that completes a set, and constantly just farm 100 points over and over. And I don't think that would happen. I think like if I own Superman, which I do, and I sell my Superman, I've already earned my 100 points for that Superman. I do not think that I would then earn another 100 points if I bought that Superman back, even though it completes a set, because I've already completed that set on my account. I just chose to sell it afterwards. I would, however, earn points for every day that I held the collectible. I'd also earn the rarity bonus point, and I could also earn the low edition bonus, depending on whether it was a sub 150 or not. So there's a lot of levels to this. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Kurt, it's odd that they don't have points for other lowish mints like sub 500, sub 1000. What do you think? Let me read through the rest of it. It's hard to say without getting a full sense of what's going on, but I do agree that like with a 30,000 mint common drop, like it's weird that you wouldn't get points for like a 500 or whatever. So let me look through it and I'll let you know what I think in a minute here. So collectible sets. As sets offer a varying number of collectibles, the points earned are based on the number of collectibles within the set. Okay, so that does matter. Guys, they thought of everything here. I'm really liking this so far. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts, but yeah, I'm really liking this. So as sets offer a varying number of collectibles, the points earned are based on the number of collectibles within the set. 6 points for 5 collectibles or more, 5 points for 4 collectibles, 3.5 points for 3 collectibles, 2.5 points for 2 collectibles, and 1.5 points for 1 collectible. Oh, and they even account for duplicate sets. Okay, I'm going to read duplicate sets, and then we're going to go back and discuss that. Duplicate sets. If you own one or more of the same set, the additional sets are subject to a reduced amount of points versus unique sets. That makes sense. Second set is 30% of the points versus unique sets. Okay, so if you own a one of one set, you get 100% of the points. If you own a duplicate, so for instance, I own 2 Supermans, and they use the Superman as an example, so I won't give the example, I'll just read it. The third set is 20% points versus unique sets, and fourth set and on is 10% points versus unique sets. Okay, so for example, if you own 2 Superman collectible sets, you would get 1.95 points daily. One Superman equals 1.5 points, second Superman equals 0.45 points, etc. I really like that. I really like that. That is awesome. That is great. This is so balanced, guys. You can't, and this was my biggest fear, is that people were just going to load up on $7 comic books, or they were going to load up on Marvel Mighties, or, common Kripkins or whatever, like something that was really cheap, and they were just going to be able to game the system by owning like so many of them. And that's just not going to be the case. Like you would have to own like infinitely more in order to get the same benefit. And I absolutely love that they've done that. That's great. That this is awesome. Okay. So what this means is if you own, let's say, a 5 collectible set, let's say you own the entire Spider-Man set. So you own 5 collectibles, you would get 6 points per day for owning that set. You would also receive additional points for owning the rare, the ultra rare, and the secret rare. You could also earn points for holding a sub 150 mint of each of those. Guys, there's so many levels to this. They are very much focused on ensuring that people are holding collectibles. You are not incentivized to sell your collectibles or trade them. You are incentivized to hold them or sell them on the market. This is going to do nutty things to the marketplace as a whole and the Veve app, I think. That is incredible. Oh my gosh, that's nuts. Sorry, I lost my tab here. There we go. Okay, so Evan says, or SoCal Omi Homie says, the market is going nuts. In what way? In what way is it going nuts? Let me know. Comment again. Like, are a lot of people selling? Are a lot of people buying? Are the prices going up like crazy? Like what is it that's going crazy? Let me know. I will check in a minute, but I do want to continue to get through this at the same time. Evan says, feel like this could get abused for people with multiple accounts. Kaser answers that question, brother. No, it doesn't work on transfers, so you're good. Wish they released Omi staking details. Garrett, I agree with you. I wish that they released Omi staking details as well, but I think that we've had a lot of information come out in the last 24, 48 hours, right? Like with the Disney Plus announcement, with all the collectibles that are coming out, with the Master Collector Program article coming out now, like it almost makes sense for them to hold off on that for a few days because there's so much going on right now that give us a chance to digest, right? Like this is crazy. If you have multiple accounts, wouldn't you just send it from one account to the next and get the 100 on each account? You could do that once, Evan. Like you couldn't send it, but you could sell it to yourself. Like you could risk it. You could put like a Superman up for $1 and hope that you snipe it on your other account quick enough. And yeah, you'd get 100 points. But like that's risky business, man. I don't think anyone should be doing that. I mean, if you want to do that, you do your thing. But yeah, you're just asking to lose money at that point, I think. So crypto is second. Kripkins, I'm assuming, is second set at 30%, equals points, more than one collectible, but not as much as 2-piece set. Yeah, it's interesting, all the layers to it. Oh, lots and lots of Omi buys. Prices over 0.007. All right, let's take a look at that quickly, actually. Let's take a look at that. Let's see what's going on, guys. Okay, yeah, so I mean, we're up at, so we've definitely seen, this was what? 4 hours ago. So yeah, I mean, we're pumping a little bit, which is good. I mean, up 7% on the day. Not too bad. No complaints there. No complaints there. Let's get into the digital comics here. Digital comic series. If a collector owns all released issues in a specific series, they will receive 5 points daily. For example, if Veve has released 4 issues of Amazing Spider-Man and a collector owns all 4 issues, they will receive daily points for each issues, plus 5 points for owning all released comic issues in the series. Interesting. Wow. Okay. So, like, if they release like Amazing Spider-Man number 15, Amazing Spider-Man number 1, and all of the other Amazing Spider-Mans, you would get additional points for holding each of those issues. Plus, you get additional points for owning all the released comic issues in the series. So even though they say that comic books don't count as sets, you still get 5 points for owning all of the issues in the series. Okay. So if an additional issue is released in the series, one must collect that issue as well to continue to earn the comic series points. Oh, these guys, they think of everything. A comic series qualifies for points when 3 or more issues in the series have been dropped on Veve. That's so smart. So they'll give you points for holding the comics, but if you don't continue to buy the comics, once they release the new series of that comic, you stop earning points for the previous sets that you earn. So they're basically saying, if you want to keep earning points, you're going to keep buying our collectibles. Guys, this is why it took them this long to come out with this. I can't think of any crypto company, any gaming reward company, like any of the video games that I play from AAA studios, like nothing has a reward system like this. This is crazy. Kurt says they are basically incentivizing us to get a second job since we wouldn't want to sell anything. Yep, pretty much. Mr. Anomalous, I wonder if this will affect off-app markets finally. I think it will. I really think it will. Now, what I will say is until the money transmitter license comes in, I think you'll still see certain collectibles being purchased off app. And for certain collectibles, I think you'll see them purchased off app regardless. Like as a perfect example, if I wanted to buy the Marvel's #1 comic and I was going to buy it for $40,000, or sorry, I was going to sell it for $40,000, I probably don't want to take that 8% hit on the price, right? Like that is $3,000 that I'm losing out on. So I could see someone selling it under the condition to someone privately saying, I'm going to transfer it to you only and you have to pay me off app. And, you know, I'll knock $500 off the price because I know you're not getting a point for it, but I don't want to lose out on that money. So I don't think the op-app trading or transfers will ever disappear entirely. But I think that they're doing pretty much everything that they can within their power, short of removing it as a function, which I don't think any of us wants, because we want to be able to trade with our family or maybe with our friends or whatever. I think that they're doing everything that they can, and I think that this is smart. Big Nothing says, so just buying one of every common comic is worth a lot. If there's a set of 3 or more, so like I think X-Men probably has 3 comics out now in the series. If you buy a common of each of them, you will earn 3 points a day for holding those. And if they cost you $7, you're earning 3 points off of a $21 investment. That's incredible. I definitely think that we will see some of those comics, that complete series, start to go up in value. And I am happy to see that they're still rewarding people for owning all the released comic issues in a series. That's awesome. In-app activity. Okay, so now we're getting away from the collectibles, but things that you can also earn points for. So 1 point is received for all in-app activity actions. In-app activities will have a maximum limit of 25 points per day. That seems like a lot of points, guys. Oh my goodness. Hold on a second. So I own 24 sets. And with my 24 sets, I'm not going to do the crazy math, but like, okay, so I own 210 collectibles and 24 sets. 24 sets, I'd get 2,400 points. Plus 1 point for each of the collectibles. We'll call it 2 points just to round up because of the different rarities and variants, and I hold some low mints. So that'd be 400 points. I would earn 2,800 points for all the collectibles and set that I own. And then I would also get points for every day that I held them. So I would have like tens of thousands of points. Oh, guys, I can't do this math off the top of my head right now. That's crazy. Hold on. But 25 points sounds like a lot. Because when you think about the fact that to complete a set is a maximum of 6 points, but I guess you're earning that daily. But then in-app being 4x what you would get. Interesting. Okay, we'll just go into it. Sorry, guys. I'm like I said, this is the first time I'm reading this too, right? So I'm learning with you guys as well. So make sure you're putting your thoughts down in the comment section. Like interact with me. Let me know what your thoughts are. I'm curious to hear everything that you guys have to say. So in-app activity. So 1 point, all activities. In-app activities will earn a maximum limit of 25 points per day. In-app activity includes daily logins, sharing, commenting, liking, market listings, etc. Additional activities will be added in the future. Interesting. So each activity grants you 1 point. So you log on, you can only log on once a day, I'm assuming. Like can I just log in and out of my app 25 times and that would give me 25 points? Or do I have to complete 25 individual actions? So logging on would be 1, sharing something would be 1, commenting, liking, market listings, that's 5. So they must allow you to do each of these activities more than once. Earning points. Points are earned on activities, transactions that take place within the Veve. Okay, so I don't want to get into that quite yet. I still want to circle back to this. So if you can earn a maximum of 25 points per day, the login has to be limited to 1 point. Otherwise, people would just literally log in and out of their app for 3 minutes and they'd be logged in 25 times. So there's no way that that's the thing. I'm sure that. And then sharing, commenting, and liking is probably unlimited. Like you could probably, or maybe liking is like limited to 10 points a day and commenting's limited to 10 points a day or something. Like there has to be a balance with that, right? Like you guys understand what I'm saying? Like it wouldn't make sense to be able to earn 1 point per daily login. That wouldn't make sense to me. But I'm curious to hear if that's how you guys are interpreting this or not. But that wouldn't make sense to me. Okay, so earning points. Points are earned on activities, transactions that take place within Veve. Yeah. Recurring points stop accruing after 14 days of inactivity. Okay. Points have shelf life and must be spent within 6 months of earning. There will be an indication in the app on the amount of points needed to be spent before a certain date. Okay, so you guys earn points for holding collectibles. You earn points for in-app activity. Your points do not affect your level rank. They affect it in the sense that they help you go up, but then you can spend those points and you don't go down. But if you don't spend those points within 6 months, you lose them. So they are actively incentivizing not only using the app to get points, engage, collect, whatever, but they're also saying not only are we going to do that, but we're going to prevent you from hoarding them. We want you to put them back into the system by using them within 6 months. That's interesting, which in turn will then encourage more people to earn higher master collector status because they will then actively see people spending their points and earning whatever advantages you get from the system. Oh, my brain's about to explode, guys. This is crazy. This is crazy. I know there's 46 of you in here right now, and I really appreciate you sticking with me on this. This is crazy. Guys, like this is what we've been waiting for. That's nuts. Okay. So the points need to be spent before a certain date. Points are calculated and applied once per 24-hour period at the set time each day. Okay, so you could actually, in theory, manipulate that system. You could hold a collectible for more than 24 hours and then sell it to make sure you get that. But if you buy a collectible the same day and you're looking to flip it, you may want to be incentivized to hold it for that day. So you may be able to, so I think the one-off points you'll earn automatically. So if you buy a Superman, you've never earned one before, or you've never held one before, it completes a set. You probably don't have to wait to then, if you wanted to turn around and sell it again, you're a flipper. You could probably do that one time. You'd earn that 100 points once. You probably wouldn't have to wait the 24 hours to do it. But these points are calculated and applied once per 24-hour period. That would mean the collectibles that you owned during that 24-hour period, you may have to hold them for that 24 hours in order to earn that point bonus. Or it would just be whatever collectibles you accrued or sold within that 24-hour period would be used to make that calculation. Points have 2 decimal places. Someday the Omi token will have 2 decimal places. In a good way. Earn points may change during certain periods, e.g. double point bonus days. Let's go. Let's go. Double point bonus days. Guys, they can tie this to so many events. They can tie it to, I doubt it'll be out by Halloween, but we'll say Christmas. They can tie this to Christmas. They can have a Christmas event where you earn double points days. This is like on Call of Duty. If you guys ever play Call of Duty or video games, like double XP weekend, where everyone would jump on the game because you're earning more points for the same activities that you're completing. So instead of 25 points a day, you would earn 50 points a day. You could earn, if you've never bought a Superman before, or a Big Barda, or a Starfire, or a Peggy Carter, you could earn 200 points that day for completing that set if you buy it on that day, because you would earn double points. Holy Lord. Kurt, we need a Foster facepalm. Yeah, we need a Foster facepalm. I agree. I agree. Veve Las Vegas, thanks for going live, bud. You're doing great. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Alex Davies, won't we burn a lot less OMI if marketplace sales go down? Why would marketplace sales? So you're saying, I guess, so your question is, so if people are holding collectibles instead of selling collectibles, won't the OMI burns go down? I mean, theoretically, if people aren't selling, then that specific avenue is not burning OMI. But you also have to remember that there are so many factors that result in OMI burn. So OMI to NFT when it comes out will result in OMI burn. OMI to land when it comes out will result in OMI burn. Buybacks will result in OMI burn. The price of the token fluctuation results in more or less OMI burn. You have to remember, we're going to have several million people on this app in a year, or even less at this point with the Disney news and everything that's coming out. I don't envision, like, people are still going to sell, right? Like don't get me wrong. I'm a master collector, but if my Lucky goes up to $100,000, I'm selling my Lucky, right? Like, and if someone wants to buy that Lucky, they're going to buy the Lucky and it's going to burn the 2.5%. If you hold a Spider-Man or a Captain America and you have the secret rare and you want to sell it and it's worth $50,000, $100,000, it's still going to burn that 8% of OMI. Like, people are always still going to buy OMI. Like, it's or burn OMI by buying collectibles. Like, it's not like the app's just going to become stagnant. No one's going to want to buy. Like, it's still going to happen. You also have to remember that the burns also happen from buybacks, which take place from revenue in the primary market. People are still going to be buying these collectibles in the primary market. Like, don't worry, we'll be fine. We will be fine 100%. It'll be good. So double point days. Sorry guys, I went on a tangent there, but that got me hyped. That is that's a doozy right there. That's awesome. Retroactive points. I know a lot of you guys are going to be curious about this, so let's check it out. When the MCP is officially launched, level points will be calculated from the time a collector's Veve account was created. The number of points received will only be calculated based on the number of collectibles and sets the collector owns in that time. Collectors will also receive one-off points for store purchases, market purchases, and completed sets. Okay, so level points will be calculated from the time a collector's Veve account was created. That makes sense. So if you enrolled in August or June or February or November of last year, you'll earn points retroactively for that time. Based on the number of collectibles and sets the collector owns in that time, not at that time, in that time. So that's interesting. Okay. I'm not sure how that'll be calculated. But that's good to know. And you'll still receive one-off points for store purchases, market purchases, and completed sets. Safety measures. Oh. Feel like I'm in like a, the flight, the stewardess is like, all right, guys, collect, like, what's going on here? Safety measures. There will be additional measures in place to prevent users from exploiting, abusing, or otherwise gaming the system. So don't make any rash decisions about your collections or purchasing activity based on this article. So I think when they're referencing that, what that's specifically in relation to is the whole transferring thing that we were talking about, right? Like, you won't, like, let's say you're a bot. If you're watching my channel, I hope you're not a bot. Feel free to unsubscribe. No interest in having you here, but I'm assuming everyone that's watching this is legitimate. And for those of you that maybe think that bots are real or whatever the case may be, if you try and transfer all the collectibles between your accounts, because you're just like, I'm going to load up one account with 7,000 comic books that I got off of 50 different accounts. Like, I figured it out. I'm big brain. Like, you're not earning points for any of that. Like, they're going to monitor that, and they're probably going to find a way to govern that. So that's interesting. I'm glad to hear that they've mentioned that. We've heard it a couple times, but it's definitely worth mentioning it again. Let's see. There will always be people buying. Marketing coming soon. Vivo will be the Walmart of NFTs. For sure, Kaser. 100%, brother. That is what's coming. Andrew, oh man, I'm excited. Holy poop. I'm monetized. I don't know if I can say that now. I don't know what the rules are, but I agree with you, brother. I agree with you. Kryptonite, the system may incentivize. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's going to incentivize a lot of people for things. Amazing Spider-Man comic also has 3 editions. Spider-Man Far From... Okay. Good to know. And Didi brings up a good point here, or Junior, I guess I'll call you. Not everyone wants to hold for the Master Collector program. Considering few millions of users, the secondary market will still be massive. I 100% agree with you, man. 100% agree with you. I think we're going to get to the point where people are going to very much see this as a business opportunity. So once the money transmitter license come in and you can actively take money off of the app, people will be arbitraging collectibles when they start getting sold off the app. People will be, professionally flipping collectibles, similarly to how people buy and sell tokens. This is going to become facepalm. Facepalm. Mark says it would be pretty cool if you didn't earn points on collectibles you have listed in the market. It would decrease the available supply. Maybe thoughts? I like that, Mark. That's an interesting thought. So if you have your collectible listed, and let's say you don't have it listed for a competitive price, you're one of those guys that lists it for 9.9 million just because you think you're funny, you don't earn points for the days that that's listed. That's an interesting thought. I'm just trying to think if there's any negatives associated with it. I mean, if you're selling to flip, then no, I don't see it. And I would say maybe if it's been listed for more than 24 hours, then maybe you don't earn the point for the next day, so that you're incentivized to list a collectible. But if you didn't put it up for a competitive price or no one's interested in buying it, you're then re-incentivized to take it off. I could see that, but I think that, I don't think you should be punished just for listing a collectible, right? I don't think 20 minutes afterwards, if the day resets, I should get punished for not holding that collectible, because I did conceivably hold it the whole time. But I like the thought. It's interesting. Mr. Anomalous says, Reese said there will be a Omi utility article shortly, so that's good. Yes, the Omi utility article will be coming out #soon. I don't know that I can say anything more about it at this point, but yes, it is coming out soon. Luke says, looking at the Master Collector program, I don't want to sell any collectibles and would buy more to rank up and get more points. So NFTs will go up in price. This is gamification. This is gamification, Luke. You're 100% right. And for some reason with my new setup, I don't know how to pin your comments on the screen. I apologize, guys. With the new overlay, it shows all of your comments. I don't know how to pin them. I'm going to work on figuring that out. While I'm reading out your questions, I generally like to pin them, but I don't know what I'm doing. I maintain that I'm still not a YouTuber, and so we're just going with it, but I agree with you. Kryptonite, the system may incentivize holding, but holding drives up prices, which creates more income per transaction for Veve and licensor. Exactly. It also creates more scarcity on the marketplace, which when new people come in will further incentivize them to buy it. Why are you going to buy a collectible that's got 10,000 available on the marketplace? Doesn't seem very exclusive or rare, and doesn't sound like it has a lot of value. Whereas if something only has 10 collectibles on the marketplace, you're like, ooh, I need to get my hands on this before it sells out entirely. 6 says, I'm a bot. Uh-oh. We can't have that. Okay, sorry. I posted all my 40 collectibles at 2,000 or more, even the comments. You're not earning the points. We're taking them away from you. Andrew Ellis, I hope you're having a great day, Foster. Thank you, man. I really am. I'm just, yeah, I'm having a great day. I'm trying to keep up with everything that's going on. It's crazy. Let's go through a couple more things, then I'll go back to reading out the comments there. So levels, ranks, and badges. Hello. The Master Collector program consists of levels and ranks. Levels start at level 0, new user, and increase as the collector earns points. You know what? I just thought of it. You start at level 0, but you probably earn level 1 within the first 100 points, which is completing your onboarding. And for those of you that play video games and understand the concept of self-gratification, like delayed self-gratification, you will understand that leveling up and earning badges or rewards is like that's psychology. Like they're using human psychology because you are guaranteed to complete onboarding when you sign up. Like it's physically impossible not to do it, right? So when you complete onboarding, you're going to level up. So now you're already instilling in people, you're ingraining in them, I want to level up. Oh, I earned this cool badge. Oh, this sweet animation happened on my screen when I leveled up. Like, think about it. Even in Call of Duty, you're playing games and you level up in the middle of the game. You get that notification or whatever. You're like, yeah, I want to do that again. Or you get a kill streak and it earns at the top. It shows you a badge of you earning that. And you're like, I want to get that again. This is incredible. Okay. So each VV collector also has a rank. So we know levels and ranks are different. So levels starts at 0, rank is different. And a collector's rank position is determined by their activity relative to other collectors. For example, the top percentile of collectors will likely have a high level and the rank of master collector. Okay, I'm vibing, I'm feeling that. Levels. To level up, the collector must earn the required amount of points to go from one level to the next. Self-explanatory. Each level has a required amount of points, and when enough points are earned, the collector will level up. Leveling is exponential, and more points are required as the levels get higher. I mean, that's a fairly standard thing. I think anyone that plays any video games or anything would know that, you know, you're not going to earn 100 points or whatever per like every level. Like, it's not like it's a linear growth. You're going to need to earn substantially more points to earn each level. It makes perfect sense. Each collector's level is displayed on their profile page within an MCP badge, and the collector level shows wherever their profile is visible, such as their profile page, feed posts, or market listings. Wow, that's a flex, guys. That is awesome. Let me pull up. I'm going to show you a perfect example of this. That's awesome. The fact that you have the badge and it shows up. So for those of you that play, I play a lot of, or I did at least historically, play a lot of mobile games. So you'll see, and of course I haven't logged onto this. So this is a perfect example. Level up pops up on my screen. I haven't logged on to this. This is called Clash Royale. It's made by Supercell. I haven't logged onto this in months, but it says level up. I get like a badge associated with it, right? It gives me extra information. And then on top of that, okay. Oh my goodness. I really haven't logged onto this game in a long time. In the top left corner up here, my badge is displayed. Now I'm in a group called Omi Homies because I joined a group with different Omi Homies. Within that group, you can see everyone's trophy level. You can see where everyone sits. And then if you click on someone's profile and view it, you can see all of their badges, all the stuff that they've earned. So for me, I hold some badges that are like, they're a status. Like, people can look at my profile and be like, wow, you completed a grand challenge? Wow, only 2% of people can ever complete a grand challenge. The fact that you did that is amazing. So that, and everyone can see that. Regardless of the activity that I do in app, they will see that. It's the same concept of having a blue check mark on Twitter and being verified. Everyone knows what that check mark means. It's inherent. We know. So to be a master collector within Veve is going to give off that same vibe and feeling. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Got to regroup. So it's displayed on the profile page, feed post, or market listings. As collectors reach specific milestone levels, they will gain access to items and new or expanded features within Veve. For example, milestone 3D level badges, e.g., 1 for every 10 levels displayable in showrooms, expanded profile, a free number of premium market listings, expanded AR features, drop lottery access, accessories. Sorry guys, I know my voice is getting higher each time. I might just embrace it. Accessories? Exclusive content? I'm losing it here. Exclusive content, level-based chat rooms, and more. Exclusive content, level-based chat rooms. This is crazy. Okay. Guys, I know you're commenting and I see it. I'm overwhelmed right now. I'm doing my best. We're trying to keep up with everything here. Along with levels, so this is for rank. Along with levels, the MCP consists of 23 ranks. Okay. The collector's rank is based on their position relative to other Veve collectors. Okay. The lowest rank is Bronze 1, and the highest rank is Master Collector. The 23 ranks are divided based on percentages. For example, the highest rank, Master Collector, is reserved for the top percentile of collectors. I want to show you guys something. So this is for Valorant. I tried to look up Apex because I saw Kaser mention Apex Legends because you hit the nail right on the head. That's exactly what it's in reference to. This right here is for Valorant, and this talks about the rank distribution. I know it's pretty tiny. Actually, I might be able to click on it. So this is a perfect example right here of badges that you'll earn, right? So this would be Bronze 1 for us, right? Like this would be the badge that's displayed. And then as you earn different levels in the Master Collector program, Radiant, which in this case is your Master Collector badge, this would be the one that stands out. It's the most beautiful, it's the most coveted, it's the one that people want. This shows the rank distribution, right? So this is the same systematic and statistical model that they would use in order to determine the percentiles, right? Like they're talking about the top percentile of collectors. Radiant, which is the equivalent in this case to Master Collector, has a very small percentage. So you can see here, it's 0.16%, which is like 1 in 1,000. I don't think it'll be that low. I think they mentioned 3 or 4%. We'll read about that. But this goes to show you, this is called a bell curve. This is a statistical bell curve. This is what you will see generally for the program. So we'll see a lot of new users that onboard that use the app very casually. And then we'll see a lot of people, probably like the people that are watching this stream right now, myself, somewhere probably leaning on this side because we've been in early, so we get retroactive points. And then we'll see the Ray Fixies of the world and the Todd Father, Stevie Phil, like all of them that own thousands of collectibles. They'll be right around here as well. And we'll be able to actually model and see the breakdown of each of these percentages. Very interesting. Unlike levels, ranks are not static or kept permanently. As a collector, your rank position can move up or down based on your performance relative to other collectors. For example, you might be a mid-tier rank, and if your rank was to increase, you may replace a collector in a higher rank who would move down a rank position. This is crazy because for those of you that play video games, and I'm going to keep using video games as a reference because it's something that I play very often, you have a season reset, right? So you get reset and then you compete against people that are on a relative level to you. And then as you win games, you move up. And as you lose games, you move down. But your progression in the game continues. So for example, those of you that have seen me play Rocket League previously on stream, I am a Champ 2 Rocket League player. So I am within this bell curve somewhere around here. I'm like the second or third highest rank in Rocket League. But my game level is like 560. And I just earn that from every single game that I play. I earn XP, scoring goals, whatever. That will always go up. And it doesn't matter what level I am. That's irrelevant. But the rank that I am is relevant and is relative to the other people that I play. Because if I lose games, then people pass me. Now, the only difference being is that I can still stay at that level in the video game forever if I just stop playing it. They've gone a step further and they've said, okay, you want to take a break from Veve? Have fun. But remember that everyone else behind you is going to keep collecting their fandoms. And when they do so, they're going to pass you. So you're incentivized to always log on, to always participate, to always spend your points, and to always keep collecting. Crazy. I'm going to read a couple comments and then we're going to go into badges. Andrew says retention for the app was always important. The leveling system does that so well. It really does, brother. It really, really, really does. Kaser says, yeah, I play Apex and Rocket League and love my achievements. Yeah, it's a sense of pride. When I log on to Rocket League and all you guys see me log on to Rocket League and you see that I'm a Champ 2, if you play Rocket League, you know what that means. If you own the Veve app and you see someone with a Master Collector badge, you know what that means. It's crazy. 5K small cubes. I'm assuming that's the Borg cube. And the Enterprise left in the store. Good value, probably random mints and 25 points. Yeah, possibly. And that's the thing. Like, there's so many. I'm sure it's going crazy right now, and I'm not even on the app trying to scoop things up. I'd rather have the conversation with you guys because it is all subject to change, right, guys? And that is the disclaimer that's important to put in, is it is subject to change. So they might change something if they feel that it's unbalanced, but this is going to give us a big roadmap, and you're going to see, in my opinion, a lot of these collectibles skyrocket today. It's going to be insane. Evan says they should introduce a referral program where you earn points for each referral to VV. I love the idea. So they're not incentivizing you monetarily, but they're incentivizing you by giving you points. Evan, what you should do, remember that form that I was talking about at the beginning of the beginning of the stream? Go into that form and put in that as a request. I think that that's a fantastic idea. Because remember, the form is for feedback. It's not, you're not necessarily just complaining, saying it's a terrible thing. You're saying, hey, this is awesome, and I think we can improve it even further. So you definitely put that in. That's a great idea. K-Star, especially the Rocket League tournament win titles. Exactly. It's a badge that displays on my profile all the time. And everyone that sees me and plays against me sees that badge all the time. They know what it means. Kurt, I will not breathe. I will hold my breath. You watch me. K-Star, yeah, 20 bomb, 4K badge, 10, 10, 10. Exactly. The badges are crazy. Andrew will definitely run Rocket League at some point. No worries, brother. It's a ladder system. That's what I was saying when Dan dropped this. Very effective form of engagement. Yep. Best form of engagement there is, for sure. For sure. So we know that the ranks aren't kept permanently, so you'll be incentivized to continue to participate in the app, which I think is fantastic. Because not only are you incentivizing new users to be onboarded, to get involved in this program, like we haven't even gotten into Master Collector Pro or anything yet. Like I'm only halfway through the article, guys. This is crazy. Oh my God, I'm losing my mind. Okay. Various activities within Veve will reward collectors with achievement badges. For example, completing a set. Badges are displayed on the collector's public profile, and some badges can be added to your showrooms. When a new badge is earned, the collector will receive points. So once again, guys, and I'm going to pull it up again so that we can reference it, because I think it's a perfect illustration or example of what we're referring to here. When I go on to my profile on Clash of Clans, these are the badges that I have. So as a perfect example, the 1, the 2, and the 3 badge, that means that I played the game during season 1, season 2, season 3. So I did that, right? I reached 1,000 wins. So maybe you reach 1,000, well, not 1,000 collectibles. Maybe you reach 100 collectibles. You get a badge. I participated in season 4, season 5. I reached Master League. So that's a badge for, reaching a certain level. And those badges will upgrade as you hit each tier of those levels, right? So that's just additional gamification. So you go from, collect 10 collectibles, you get a badge. Then you get 100 collectibles, which is, let's say, is the next iteration of that badge. You get an upgraded version of that badge. The badge is still collectible related, so everyone can associate with it, but it's an upgraded version and everyone knows what it means. Similar to how we looked at these here, right? Like, they're minute differences. Like, this is level 1, level 2, level 3, but you see the stars in the middle of it in the gold shows that it's a rank up in level. So even something as simple as that. And I know some of you might be watching this and you're like, I don't care about that. Why? People will care about it. And you think that you won't care about it now, but as you start to do it, you're going to care more. Trust me. It's addictive. It's crazy. Drop lottery. Okay, this is big. The MCP drop lottery gives collectors a greater chance to obtain a specific collectible in an upcoming drop. A small percentage of editions of each rarity in a drop will be made available for this lottery. Okay. So they discussed this previously. I'm curious to know what the small percentage is, though. Users can participate in the drop lottery by wagering points they have earned. The odds of winning in a lottery are weighted by the numbers of points a collector wagers relative to the drop lottery participants. Holy crap, talk about game theory, eh? That is crazy, guys. So to spell that out for people, essentially, it's like if you ever enter a 50-50 draw and you buy one ticket, right? And there's 10,000 tickets, you have a 1 in 10,000 chance. But if you wager, aka buy more tickets in the drop, and you buy 100 tickets, then you have a 1 in 100 chance rather than, or technically I said 10,000, so 1 in 1,000, but instead of 1 in 10,000. So you increase the statistical likelihood that you will land that item. Now remember, of course, when you wager these points, you lose them, but this is very interesting. Okay. That's interesting. The top group of people, number varies based on edition size per drop, who wager the most amount of points are guaranteed this collectible. This is not a raffle system. Oh, hold on. E-break. Okay. Okay, so how it works. At a set time before a drop, the Master Collector Program Drop Lottery will open to those collectors with the required level of access. The collector can choose which collectible and rarity they want to wager points on. The number of collector wagering on all a collectible will be shown, but the amount wagered will not. All points wagered in the MCP drop lottery are spent post-drop, regardless of whether the lottery was won or not. All points wagered in the MCP drop lottery are spent post-drop, regardless of whether the lottery was won or not. So you could wager all of your points for a collectible, still not land that collectible, and lose all of your points. That's risking it for the biscuit, boys and girls. That is crazy. I don't know if I agree with that. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts on that in the comments. I'm not sure that I agree that you should lose your points if you don't win the lottery. Because, like, it's not your fault that you didn't win it. Like, I think you should just be giving them back. But anyone that wins the lottery should lose their points. But that's like... Because you could save up for 6 months and then go for something. And let's say it's 1,000 editions. And of that, only 5% are available. So 50 editions. You wager all your points, but 51 other people wager more points than you. You lose all your points that you worked for 6 months, and you don't even get them back. That's crazy. Yeah, I hear what you guys are saying, Andrew and Kaser. I hear what you're saying. That is the game. Yeah, it is a wager. Yeah, it is high risk, high reward, Andrew. That is... Yeah, and Justin, I agree with you. I do think that that's going to change after feedback. I understand the principle behind it. Like, I understand why they're doing it, but, and Ernesto, I completely agree with you. If you spend money in a casino or a lottery, you don't get it back. I get that, but I don't look at it as spending. It's as a perfect example, it's like an auction. If you bid on something and someone outbids you, you don't then lose the money that you bid because you didn't win. Like, could you imagine if you bid for something and then someone else outbid you, but just because you bid in the auction, like, sorry that you're not as rich as the next guy, we're still taking your money, but you don't get anything? Like, that doesn't... I mean, I don't know whether you guys look at it that way or look at it differently, but to me, like, if you're guaranteed the collectible, like, it's a guarantee, right? So when they call it a guarantee, it's not a lottery because it's a guarantee. Like, you're being told if you spend these points, you will get it. If you have enough points, you will get access to it. So it's the same thing as an auction. If you spend enough money, you're guaranteed to get it. But everyone else in the auction doesn't spend their money, get their money back. So I don't... that's honestly, that's the first thing that I've read so far that I'm like, no, I don't think so. Not for me anyways. So... And I get don't get me wrong, guys. I get the game theory behind it. I get that you're not technically losing any money because you earn the points for free. But at the same time, like, yeah. 6, that's a good point. The points do go away after 6 months regardless. That is a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to reflect on that one. We'll keep going, but yeah, I'm going to reflect on that one. So how it works. At a set time before drop, I already read that. Did I already read that? I'm going to read it again. I can't remember. Set time before drop, Master Collector Problem, drop lottery will open to those collectors. Collectors can choose which collectible and rarity they want. No, I did read that. The MCP drop lottery will close a short time before a drop, and then the winners are announced. The winners must claim the collectible before the drop takes place. If a collectible is not claimed before the drop, it is returned to the public drop pool. When a winning collectible is claimed, the collector is prompted to make the payment in gems, and the collectible will be delivered to their collection post-drop. Okay, interesting. Okay, so it looks like we move on from this. So I want to reflect on this again. Okay, so users can participate in the drop lottery by wagering points they've earned. The odds of winning in a lottery are weighted by the number of points a collector wagers. So it's weighted to the number of points relative to the other drop. So, like, I could wager 1 point, but you could wager See, it says that it's weighted by the number of points a collector wagers, but how is it weighted if the people who wager the most are guaranteed the collectible? Like, that's not a weighted system. That's just, hey, you spend the most, you get it. I don't understand this. I'm not going to dwell on it too much. I know there's 45 people watching, so we'll keep moving on. I'm gonna circle back to this though. This to me doesn't make sense. But this is just a cursory read, so maybe it will once I read it again. I'm obviously not always right about everything too right, guys? Like this, I'm just one guy with an opinion, so I could be completely out to lunch on this. But that doesn't make sense to me. All right, accessories. Within the store, various accessories will be made available for purchase using points. Accessories that can be purchased with points will, in quotations generally, be non-licensed, high edition items, allowing collectors to trick out their showrooms. Oh, that's pretty cool. So we've talked about that. Like, you want a bunch of Batman collectibles, you put it in the Batcave, or the pedestal for the DeLorean for Back to the Future. Like, there's so many different options. That's very interesting. Let's read the comments here. So Big Nothing says, you should definitely lose points. They're meant for spending. If you made a bad wager and get punished, it's rough, but the rewards is hundreds if not thousands of dollars on a premium collectible. Okay, so I agree with you, but I would counter with, how is it a bad wager to wager all of my... So, like, as an example, the Spider-Man comes out, right? The Secret Rare Spider-Man. Let's pretend it hasn't come out yet. And we all have points, okay? 5,000 of us all wager all of our points, but only, let's say 5%, so 50 people get it. That means 4,950 people all lose their points and don't get them back. Like, how is that a bad wager, right? Like, is it, like, I guess you're looking at it from a gambling perspective. Like, it was a bad gamble, I guess. But like, same thing, like, I click buy now on a collectible. If I don't secure the collectible, I don't like also lose my money, right? Like, I keep my money unless I buy the collectible. So like, I don't know. I'm struggling. Maybe you guys can help me out here. We'll see. Ernesto, different from an auction bid, it's like buying a number of raffle tickets without knowing how many the next guy bought. Yeah, and that's how I was looking at it originally, right? Like, when I first read it, I was like, oh, it's like a 50-50 draw. Like, you're just increasing your likelihood of doing it. But then, like, when they read it, like, it said like something about like being weighted, but then it's weighted by the number of, like, the odds of winning in a lottery are weighted by the number of points a collector wagers relative to other drop lottery purchases. Oh, I guess it's weighted. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I see where you guys are coming from. Ben says Bitcoin market manipulation happening right now. Look at what has happened in the last 90 minutes. Manipulations happen in every market, man. It honestly wouldn't. It doesn't surprise me. I'll look at, I'm curious to see what, I mean, Akomi's up 10% on the day. So, oh, wow. It just jumped it again. I'm just going to keep refreshing. If I refresh every time and it goes up, we'll go to $1, guys, right? That's how it works. I'm not allowed to send you a super chat. Is that something wrong on your end or mine? I'm not sure, brother. Someone sent a super chat earlier in the stream. So I'm not sure. I mean, don't worry about it. Like, super chats are there just cause. Like, if you can't do it, I wouldn't stress out too much about it. If you figure it out, you figure it out. Either way, you just being here, participating, and interacting with me is thanks enough. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm not sure. It should work, but yeah, I don't know. That's why you get as much points as possible, for sure. And then it'll just be picking, like, which one do I want to wager it all on? And it is interesting because it sounds like, based on the percentage, the small percentage, and the amount of people that will be going for it, you're going to lose points very quickly. Like, it's going to be a one and done. So it's going to be very interesting. Bad isn't the right word, I guess. Risky wager. Yeah, no, I agree. It is. It's interesting. Six says, if the whales wager most of their points on a drop, then casual people will take over them in rank. I think that's pretty cool. No, so the casual people won't take over them. So your rank doesn't go down when you wager points. Your rank stays the rank that you're at, but you can spend those points that you've earned. So it's just basically like a free in-app currency that they give you as a reward for earning a specific rank. but when you spend those points, you don't lose that level. So people will still maintain their levels. If you saved up points for months, then risk them all on an under 10% chance at a secret rare and get big mad when you don't get it. Maybe that's a bad wager. Yeah. I'm not sure. It'll be interesting. You know what? We say that now until we're the ones that risk it and don't get it. And then everything is always going to be an under 10% chance, right? Like, what collectible are you ever going to come across that you're going to wager that no one else is going to wager on, right? Like, anytime that you do it, it's going to be a gamble, but it also adds that level of gamification and it's going to keep people enticed and keep them coming back. I'm just concerned what happens when someone wagers all their points on something that they really want and then they don't get it. Is that going to reduce in-app engagement? Right? And I mean, at the end of the day, the app's going to succeed whether 1, 2, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000 people leave. It's still going to succeed. Like, let's be honest, right? Like, this thing is not going to be stopped. But I'm just curious, like, is that the best thing to continue to encourage engagement? And I'm not questioning them. It's just I'm thinking out loud, right? Like, is that... like I said, it's just the first thing that I've come across that I've gone, I don't love it. Everything else so far, I've been like, this is great. I don't disagree with that aspect of it, but we'll keep going. Master Collector Program Pro is designed for those collectors that want to take collecting to the next level. With Master Collector Program Pro, it's not the easiest thing to say. They need to come up with something a little more catchy than that. MC Pro. Collectors can gain exclusive features within Veve to grow their collection and access additional pro-only features. Collectors in the top 6 ranks will automatically gain access to MCP Pro at no cost, whereas all other collectors who opt in will be charged a monthly subscription, pricing to be shared at a later date. The subscription will be accessible only above a specific level. Okay, this is interesting, and I'm going to use Clash Royale as a perfect example again to talk about this. So we talk about this in a lot of video games. So as a perfect example, right here, this is a season pass for Clash Royale. And as you can see, there's 2 different tiers. So there's a free tier and there's a paid tier. And as you scroll through them, you get different rewards depending on whether you have the free version or you can pay a subscription and earn additional incentives and benefits in-game. They don't give you necessarily an advantage, but they'll be like cosmetic items, additional in-game currency, things of that nature, with that pass as you continue to complete in-app activity. So that's very interesting. So we see that in a lot of video games. I mean, as a perfect example, I'll pull up Rocket League as an example because I play Rocket League a lot. And so they have like a tier, right? Like a tier pass. So like as you go through it, it's called Rocket Pass here. You earn different like cosmetic skins and things like that. So the free items, everyone can earn them. But then the premium rewards, you get more additional incentives and benefits. It's very common for gamification, but it's definitely necessary. So it's interesting that the top 6 ranks they'll have MCP Pro for free. So what they're basically saying is, you've spent enough money, we're going to give you this additional benefit for free. For those people that maybe haven't spent as much money or maybe got in the app later that haven't had the same opportunities, they'll say, hey, you can pay for it and we'll try and get you up there as quickly as we can. So it's a light payment wall. I wouldn't call it a barrier to entry because I don't imagine it will be that expensive, but it's very interesting to see that they've included this. So the features: small percentage bonus on all points earned. Okay, interesting. So this kind of ties into the double point events that they referred to for like specific events. If you have MCP Pro, you may earn like a 10% increase relative to all the collectibles that you hold, which could be massive when you consider, people have hundreds, if not thousands of collectibles, tons of sets, if you're interacting in the app all the time. Exclusive MCP Pro badges to display in showrooms. That's pretty cool. We've talked about the badges and why they're important, so it's cool that you'll have exclusive ones. Premium user profile badge. Okay, so a premium user profile badge is similar to like how we talked about with Twitter, how you have like the check mark. Generally, a premium user profile badge will be like a border around your picture. So like on Clash Royale, you get a gold banner if you purchase the premium pass. So if you have MCP Pro, you might have some sort of gold banner or something around it. So that's interesting, right? It's just one extra thing to entice people. Oh, dang. Display rarity and edition number next to collectibles in showrooms and AR. Every single person is buying MCP Pro. Just for that. Literally just for that, every single person is buying MCP Pro. They basically just said, hey, you don't have to, but we're going to give you the dopest feature if you pay for it. That is so smart. Oh my gosh. Okay. So in your showrooms, if you have MCP Pro, you'll be able to display the specific edition number you have. Because like right now, if I display, I don't know, a Marvel Mighty, and there's like 30,000 editions, but I have like edition 100, I want people to know that I have like a 100, right? Like that makes it more valuable in and of itself. So if I'm going to display it inside my showroom, I want to show people why it's valuable. That's pretty cool. Oh, what is this? Auto bid feature for market auctions? Oh, bots eat your heart out. Let's go. What is this? Auto bid feature. Interesting. Kurt, stop talking dirty to us. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Oh, Lord. This is crazy. Oh, okay. So auto bid. That's awesome. So like, let's say you see a collectible that goes up and you put a price that you're willing to pay up until. So let's say, I don't know, Superman is in an auction and it gets posted. You could put, I'm willing to pay up to $2,000 for this collectible. And then someone bids on it. Your bid would get automatically entered in at the end. That's pretty cool. Access to exclusive content. And remember, sorry, and I'll circle back to this. Auto bid will also increase the value of all collectibles because you're not there actively participating in it to make that cognitive, like the conscious decision to decide when to stop. You've just decided a ceiling that you're willing to bid until, and it's a cascading effect, I would imagine, right? So like if 20 of us all put in for the same collectible that we're willing to bid up until X amount of money, and I put 2,000, you put 2,100, next person puts 2,400, the next person puts 2,900, it'll go for 24, and it's probably increments of $5 or $10. It will go for 24.05 or 24.10, right? So like you're guaranteed to get that additional money as someone who's listing collectibles. So I can't remember if it was Alex earlier, who it was that mentioned in the chat, are people still going to sell collectibles? Yes, they will. And something like this is going to ensure that they get even more money from them. So access to exclusive content, accessories, or collectibles. That's pretty cool. Okay. Burn collectibles for points. What? Burn collectibles for points. How many points? Guys, what am I reading right now? You could buy a bunch of cheap comics and burn them to earn points. Not only are you earning points, but you're creating scarcity for every other collector that owns that collectible. I got to repeat that one more time. I'm sorry. You'll be able to burn collectibles to not only earn points, but increase the scarcity and rarity of every other collectible that other people own. GG's. I can just end it right now. Like, is there a point in continuing? Like, what is going on here? Holy Lord. Let's check out the price of a Comey. I need to take a breath here. Yeah, holding pretty steady at 72. That is a beautiful candle. You'll love to see it. You absolutely love to see it. Okay. Roadmap. Let's get back into it here. This is crazy. To make the Master Collector program available to collectors in an expedient manner. Oh, very expedient of them. The Master Collector program features will be rolled out in phases, with each phase focusing on key aspects of the MCP. So phase 1, points, levels, and ranks. That makes sense. That's I mean, that's base level, right? You can't have a master collector program without you earning points, earning your levels, and earning your ranks. Phase 2, drop lottery. Makes sense. As they start to integrate it, probably post move to immutable. As they start to integrate that, update the app, you'll be able to do that kind of stuff. Phase 3, accessories, premium market listings, badges. Badges is just a light level of gamification. That doesn't matter. Accessories, we're going to come over time anyways, especially with the introduction of the Veveverse, so that makes sense that it's coming afterwards. And premium market listings, that's not the end all to be all. I agree. And then MCP Pro. That makes sense to me. They're probably going to have to figure out the cost model. They're probably waiting until the web platform rolls out in order to integrate that. So that makes sense to me. That makes sense that would be the last exact same thing. Facts, FAQ. Who has access to the MCP? All registered users will automatically roll the MCP starting at level 0. We know that. When will MCP be available? Okay. Development of phase 1 is now underway, and once complete, the following phases will go into development. Okay. When will they release it? We will aim to release each phase as soon as possible. That said, development timelines can change due to varying factors, so we cannot give a precise release date until closer to release. Each of the phases will release when ready. Example, #soon. You know what, guys? I'm glad to see this. I mean, if I'm being realistic, I don't expect to see any of this before the move to immutable. So get that in your minds, right? Like, this is the article telling us what is coming, but when we will actually see it will likely be post-immutable. So don't expect to, be on the app tomorrow collecting this stuff. This is also subject to change, right? They've emphasized that a couple times in the article. Expect that there may be changes or iterations made to it. Obviously, one point of contention that we spoke about was burning all the points for wagering inside the lottery drop system. That may be changed. It may not be, but that's a point that they're going to discuss. They may balance out some of the points and things of that nature if they look at it and they go, we're not sure how we feel about that. They'll have to release additional information. I see you guys talking in the comments right now, like about burning collectibles. Like, how much is that going to give you in points? Is it going to be relative to the value of the collectible? Is it going to be relative to the rarity of the collectible? Like, what is going to cause that, right? So that is interesting. So we'll have to see what comes of that, but there'll still be some information released. And it sounds like this is the right way to go about this, in my opinion. We want to release it soon. We don't know all the factors. We're not going to give you a precise date. We're letting you know what we're working on, and we'll let you know when it's here. I think that that's fantastic. I think that that is a very appropriate way to go about it. Will points be retroactive? Yes. Points will be calculated from the day Veve launched. So your activity within Veve to date will contribute to your MCP level and rank. The number of points received will only be calculated based on the number of collectibles and sets the owner owns in that time. That makes sense. So like I said, you joined in June, you joined in February, you joined in October of last year, you're getting those points. Filippo, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. Luke, yeah, the amount of points that you could burn for a Todd or Justin for a Givenchy, I agree with you. Luke says, I'd rather burn Omi for a collectible than getting points. I'd rather to burn Omi for burning a collectible than getting points. Yeah, but the problem is, Luke, like if they did that, it would become an inflationary currency, right? Like not necessarily inflationary because they could use the business development fund to do that. But what you're doing is you're putting negative sell pressure on the token. Because as you earn more tokens, you're going to sell said tokens, which causes downward price momentum. So I agree with you. Like, as cool as it would be to earn the Omi token, that is never something that I think you'll see in the project. And when the Omi utility article comes out, I don't think it's something that you'll see either. So just brace yourself for that. I don't think that it's coming. Ernesto was hoping season 1 collectibles would be weighted more. I agree with you. So I think you have to draw the line somewhere, right? So season 1 collectibles are weighted more in the sense that if you were in the app in season 1 and you bought them in season 1, they're worth more because you held them that whole time, right? So as a part of this retroactive points, like you're earning points from the time that you logged on. I started in season 1, which means that I couldn't buy season 3 collectibles in season 1, but conversely, someone that started in season 3 that goes back and buys season 1 collectibles, remember that they're going to be far more expensive because of the scarcity aspect. And B, you've already held that collectible for 6 months, if not longer, by the time they even get a chance to buy it. So I agree with you in the sense that, like, yeah, it'd be nice if they were weighted more, but I would say that based on when this is rolling out, they really kind of are weighted more, right? So it's an interesting thought. We know that rare, ultra rare, and secret rares are weighted more. And we know that low mints are weighted more. So I think those, to me, were the biggest talking points that the community was like, this needs to happen and we want to focus on it, right? And this is an iterative process. And I mean, Justin just brought up a perfect point in the chat, right? Like, maybe when we get to season 20, maybe they go back and say, hey, if you own any collectibles from the first 3 seasons, we're giving you extra points for it. And then you're creating an incentive to go back and buy those collectibles, right? Like, further increasing their value. But I don't know that it's needed. Like, look at a lot of the season 1 collectibles. Look how scarce they are already. And remember that you may look at a season 1 collectible, perfect example of Todd. It's got 7,500 editions. It is scarce, A, for the record. But B, even if you don't feel like it's scarce right now, when we have 3 to 5 million people on the app, there's still only ever going to be a maximum of 7,500 Todds. So the edition numbers may increase as the seasons go up, but the edition numbers from season 1 will never increase. If anything, they're going to decrease with this burn concept that they came up with. So I don't think that it's necessary, but I definitely hear where you're coming from. So we know that points are going to be retroactive. The number of points will only be calculated based on the number of collectibles. Yeah. So collectibles received via transfer will not receive, I repeat, collectibles received via transfer will not receive the one-off points listed earlier in the article, but will also be calculated retroactively from the time you acquired them. More simply, you will get points for holding and set completion, but not for off-platform purchases. This clarifies, there was so much FUD going around about this, guys, the other day. People were so worried about this. This clarifies everything. And this needs to happen. And this is one of the things, like, I'm always open to conversation and hearing other people's thoughts and perspectives. You're not going to get me to budge off of this. This needs to happen. Because if it doesn't happen, people will sell off of the app to avoid the licensor royalty, which will then in turn hurt the likelihood that we renew licensors that we already have, create interoperability for those licensors because they'll be less likely to want to let them off of Veve, and in turn sign new licensors, right? Yes, it sucks that we have to pay some money when we sell a collectible. Guess what? I've got a $7 comic book, Amazing Spider-Man #1, Secret Rare, that's worth $10,000 right now. If I sold it, it would cost me $850 to sell it. And yeah, that sucks. That's $850 I could have in my pocket. But guess what? It's also $9,100 that I had in my pocket that I didn't have previously. This is the first time in human history, Web 3.0, digital collecting, where people can in turn, the artists and the IP holders can earn their fair share of the properties that they are generating. Veve has come up with this concept. It's unique. It has never been done before, and it is literally going to change the world. It needs to happen. And if people feel differently, you can let me know. But like I said, you're going to have to put up with one heck of an argument, because to me, this makes perfect sense. You can still trade with your family. You can still trade with your friends. You won't earn as many points, yes, but you can still have that collecting engagement. And this completely discourages bots. It completely discourages the flippers. Like, this is meant, the Veve is a collectibles app, right? Like, you're incentivized to collect. So just keep that in mind, guys. I think that this is fantastic. The OP says, so for people owning multiples, like mini multiples, it would be more beneficial for them to burn collectibles than list them on Marketplace. That is if demand is high for said collectible. Yes and no. I mean, you only earn like 0.1 points for every collectible that you hold. But, and let's say hypothetically, you own 5 collectibles that are all worth $10, okay? Take out whatever your initial investment was, it doesn't matter. You hold $50 worth of collectibles. If you burn 4 of those collectibles to create scarcity, you would then have to know for a fact that that collectible is going to be worth more than $50 in order for it to make sense for you to burn those collectibles, right? Because if you owned five $10 collectibles, you had $50. So if you burn 4 of them and then the 5th one only sells for $15, well, then you threw away $35. Why'd you do that, right? Like, so yes, I agree with you. There might be an incentive to burning collectibles because you are earning some points as well. So maybe if the points are enticing enough, it is an investment in doing that. But I don't know until we can actually run the numbers that necessarily makes sense. But it's an interesting thought. Ernesto, will content creators get bonus points? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Honestly, I don't even know that I'd want them. And I know that that's like the obvious answer. Oh my God, he's saying that. That's so cliche. But like, I don't want anyone to get an advantage. Like, I want this to be a fair system that everyone feels as though they have an equal chance and opportunity at, which is part of the reason that I had the issue with the lottery drop system, with you losing all of your points, your money, if you don't win it. Like, that was the reason that I had the one issue with it. And I was just like, does the little guy ever stand a fair shake? Like, he's never going to have as many points as the rest of us. Like, or if he does, it's going to take him years. And then after 2 years, he finally gets enough points to compete with everyone that's been here since season 1. And then he goes all out for one collectible that he really wants and he loses all of his points. Like, to me, that's just kind of, kick a man in the you-know-what. But anyways, we're not going to rehash that. But that's, I'm not in, I wouldn't want points. If they want to give me Omi, hey, you can give me Omi. That's no problem. I'll give you my wallet address. You let me know. You can send it right over. But no, points I think should be done the way that it's being done, and I think it's awesome. So, Pavle, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Why is Master Collector Program Pro available to the top 6 ranks? So we know, for those of you that are just joining now, the top 6 ranks will get MCP Pro for free. It will be available to everyone above a certain rank, but you will have to pay for it unless you're in the top 6 ranks. So they say, at Veve, we support the collectors who are the most active, so it was a no-brainer to make these features available to these collectors. Yep, that answers that question. And in a sense, it's still available to everyone, right? Like, yes, some people will have to pay for it and some people will get it for free. But if you've already spent $100,000 on the app, like, throw a dog a bone, right? Like, give them the access for free. Like, it's going to cost probably $10 a month. Like, don't, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's for the casual collector that's trying to catch up. Like, everyone that's already done the work deserves to have access to that. That makes perfect sense. If I held collectibles and sets in the past, but sold them before the MCP releases, will I still earn points for the time that I held these sets or collectibles? Yes, those collectibles or sets will still earn points retroactively for the time you held them, even if you don't hold them anymore once the MCP starts. Ooh, interesting. I could very much see the one-of-one collectibles that complete sets going up a lot in value based on this. And here's my rationale behind it. I own Lucky. I own Superman. Those are both one-of-ones that complete sets. I actually own 2 Superman, but whatever. I own 2 collectibles that both complete sets. I've already earned those points, right? Now, as an example, Lucky, I earn extra points for it being a secret rare. So I probably don't want to sell that. Superman, I think, is an uncommon or a rare. So he's not worth as many points. I've already earned points for completing the set, the 100 points. I've already earned that, right? I'm not going to earn it again. And he's really no different than me holding, I think you get like 0.1 extra point a day for holding a collectible that completes a set that's 1. So he's really no more beneficial to me than holding a $7 comic book. But to someone else that's looking to complete a set, and is looking for a one-of-one that completes a set, he has just become so much more valuable. So I could see OGs that are holding these one-of-one collectibles, selling them, and then after selling them, someone else gets them and then gets those points, right? But like, that is going to drive price action and value for that. That is very interesting. I like that. Will transferred collectibles count towards the MCP? So we know this, but I'll read it again. Collectibles received from a transfer will receive daily points. However, as they're not purchased from the store or market, they will not receive the one-off points for purchase. see the one-off points section. And we are going to go up back to the beginning because I do want to go over the points with everyone again afterwards. Of course, if you feel like you've run your course and you're happy with what we've talked about, thank you so much for stopping in. But of course, I'm happy to answer anyone's questions that you guys may have, and we'll still continue to go over this, look at the price action of the token, and maybe we'll take a live look at the market and see kind of what's going on with certain collectibles and see if we can pick out anything that may be good value to you guys. I also, for those of you guys that are watching, may make an announcement at the end of the stream about something that you guys are going to want to hear about. We'll see how much engagement we get, though. That's a little teaser, but it's I can promise you it's going to be worth it. Will holding unique sets earn more points than duplicates of the same set? Yes, duplicate sets will have diminished bonuses versus unique sets. Yes, we know that as well. Do the rarity bonuses also apply to digital comics, and do digital comics earn points otherwise? Yes, rarity bonuses apply to digital comics as well as the rest of the collectibles. However, digital comics do not have traditional sets, so set bonuses will not apply to digital comics. We know that, but we also know, okay, they're saying it. Instead of set bonuses, series bonuses will apply for digital comics. For example, you will get bonus points for having the full Amazing Spider-Man comic series released to that point. And of course, we talked about that earlier. Will we be able to earn or use points in the Veveverse? Oh, interesting. Yes. Points can be earned and used within the Veveverse. More details will be released closer to the launch of the Veveverse. That's exciting. I like that. What about Omi Utility? Omi Utility will be a separate program and article, but there will be some overlap with MCP, so stay tuned for more on that soon. And then, of course, and I do want to read this again for those of you that weren't watching previously, because I think we only had about 20 people when I read this at the beginning, so it's important for everyone to understand. This is a work in progress plan. The information below is an initial outline of the various elements in the Master Collector program. Details are subject to change based on development and feedback. In this article, a collectible refers to all items that can be purchased in the Veve store. Example, 3D collectibles and digital comics. There will be measures in place to prevent users from exploiting, abusing, or otherwise gaming the system, so don't make any rash decisions about your collectibles or purchasing activity based on this article. If you have any questions and or suggestions, here are the form that you can fill out. And once again, I opened this form earlier. I would recommend filling out this form if you have any thoughts. Some people brought up some really good points. I think that you should put them in this form so that they can review them and see how they're going to approach it. For me, I might put in one about points just to say, hey, I'm not sure how I feel about this, but I'm curious to hear everyone else's thoughts, and I'll see what the other content creators are saying. But this is a form that you fill out, and it'll give them feedback. So that's the 11-minute article that I managed to read in an hour and 42 minutes. So for whoever it was at the beginning that said, oh, he's just going to read the article. Well, it took me an hour and a half longer to read the article. So obviously I didn't just read the article. So we're going to go back up and highlight, I think, one or two major things for people that may not have been present when we first started. I'm sure most of you have already read it yourselves now, but I think it's still important to reiterate. The most points that you're going to earn at any given moment is to onboard, which you'll earn retroactively for anyone that's on the app. And then you'll earn 100 points when you complete a set. So we do know that completing sets will earn you points towards the Master Collector program, and it will earn you the most points, essentially, right? To complete a set. If you hold multiple sets, there will be diminishing returns based on the amount of collectibles that you hold, based on the rarity of collectible that you hold, and whether it's a comic or a collectible. We know that they are removing the ability, well, they're not removing it. You can still transfer collectibles between people, but they will essentially be discouraging you from transferring and will be encouraging market listings by allowing you to earn points by purchasing collectibles in the store and the market versus the transferring, which you can still do, and you will earn a point per day per collectible that you've done to do that, but you will earn extra points. So as a perfect example, if your friend wants to transfer you a common Marvel Mighty, if you had bought it in the market, you would earn, or in the store, you would earn 25 points. If you bought it in the market, you'd earn 15 points. If you transferred it, you'd only earn 1 point. So now you would have to hold that for anywhere between 2 weeks to a month for you to earn the amount of points that you would have earned had you bought it in the store. So it very much discourages you from doing off-app activity. Yeah, it might save you a little bit of money, but every point's going to count. So I think it very much discourages people. from doing that. We know that you earn daily recurring points, as we discussed. If duplicates are held, there's diminishing returns. I really like that they did this for collectibles or more, 0.1 points. You're still incentivized to hold it, right? So they're not saying like, hey, you love Todd, you own 50 of them, we're not going to give you anything for it. You're still earning points, but you're not earning a ton of points, right? Like you're earning a limited amount of points relative to if you held different collectibles, which encourages you to branch out and collect different fandoms rather than just hoarding a bunch of collectibles from someone. I really like that. I like that this basis exists. So it goes from 25% to like 55% to like 90% decrease. And I very much like that. I understand the progression for that, like analytically, and I think it makes sense. We also know that you'll get bonus points for holding rare, ultra rare, and secret rares. We've gone over that. So as an example, any secret rare that you hold will be worth 1.5 of any common. An ultra rare will be worth 1.3, and a rare will be worth 1.2. They may eventually add in like a 0.05 for an uncommon. We'll see. But it's good to know that you'll earn the addition points. And then this is a big one that people were interested in and focused on. Low edition bonus. We know that you'll earn points for collectibles with a sub 150 mint, and for digital comics, the first 150 that are available to the public, which I think is awesome. Collectible sets, we went over this as well. If the sets are bigger and there's a bunch of collectibles, so think like Kripkins or Myrmicornos, you will earn more points per day for having sets that complete more, right? So there could be a logic behind completing sets with 5 collectibles or more. Like if you get like a bunch of the Marvel Mighties or something and complete a bunch of those sets, there could be something where you earn, I'll have to run the numbers, but it might make sense. Like that might be an idea. So we'll explore that, I think, as a community and see whether or not it makes sense. But obviously, if you own collectible sets that are one collectible, you're not earning as many points per day, which makes sense, I think. Like you're earning less for holding a Superman or a Peggy Carter than you are for holding, the entire Spider-Man set, which I think makes sense, right? Like collectibles that take more, or sets that take more collectibles to complete should give you more points because you're holding more collectibles. So it makes sense. Duplicate sets, we know that you earn less points relative to the sets that you own. And there's also diminishing returns based on the collectibles that you own. So we know, as an example, like I said, you complete the Spider-Man set, you will earn 5 or 6 points a day for having that set complete. You'll also get 5 points for having 5 collectibles. So you're up at 11 points. And then 11.5, 11.8, 12 points. So you'd be at 12 points for completing the Spider-Man set, the first set. But then let's say that you complete the second set, you'll only earn 30% of that. Or 30% versus unique. Interesting. Okay. So that's something that we're going to have to explore because that's an interesting mathematical conversion. So we'll see. And then, of course, we know digital comics, as they don't count as sets, you will still earn points for completing series within a set. But if you don't continue to complete all of the series, you will stop earning points for that, which I think is interesting. In-app activity we went over. I'm not sure whether or not duplicate activities will count towards points. So the example that I gave earlier for the people that were watching was, can you just log in and off of the app 25 times? And will that count as activity? I don't know the answer, but it's an interesting thought. Earning points, we do know that they're incentivizing you to continue to engage on the app. If you stop engaging on the app for 14 days, you stop earning the recurring points. And points only have a shelf life of 6 months, which means that you need to spend them. We know that you'll get retroactive points from the day that you first logged onto the app. We know that you're getting different badges and rewards for all of this. The drop lottery was a point of contention that I'm not sure how I feel about, and we went into it in the comments earlier, talking about if it makes sense to lose your points if you bid on it, but someone outbids you. Still not sure where I sit on that, but it's an interesting thought all the same. We do know that you'll get access to accessories as well as premium marketing listings. And then MCP Pro is something that's going to come after the fact, but I think the important point to highlight for it is the display rarity and edition number next to the collectibles and burning collectibles for points. That's interesting. And the top 6 levels will earn it for free. We do know that it's going to be an iterative process and it's going to be released over time. So expect that it's not going to come out overnight, but that is totally okay. Let's get to the comments here. Big Nothing says they won't receive the one-off. It doesn't say they won't receive the one-off points for completing a set via transfer. That's a good point. That's a good point. You're right. It doesn't say that. I'm just looking right now. Yeah, because I mean, it says one-off points for completing a set. Oh, let's go, Michael Henderson. Let's go. $27.99 super chat. Thank you so much, brother. Let's go. Thank you so much, man. That's great. That's amazing. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Top super chatter as well. That's awesome. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. So yeah, you're sorry guys, that super chat got me rattled. I'm still not used to people donating me money, so it just seems exciting every time that it happens. Thank you so much, Michael Anderson. Thank you. That's awesome. Yeah, Big Nothing. I don't know. You're right. It doesn't. Points can be spent, but then it says something down here about. Where is it? It's down here. Collectibles received via transfer will not receive the one-off points listed earlier in the article, but will also be calculated retroactively from the time you acquired them. More simply, you will get points for holding and set completion, but not for off-platform purchases. So you will get points for holding and set completion. So it seems to say that you will. So if you transfer, however, I see a flaw in that. So I just want to go back up here and check something again. One-off points, you receive 100 points when completing a set. So it says you complete 100 points when completing a set. But then it says collectibles received via transfer will not receive the one-off points listed in the article earlier. So that seems to be conflicting a little bit. Because it says you won't get the one-off points and completing a set is a one-off point. But then it says you will get points for holding and set completion, but not for off-platform purchases. Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. So more simply, you will get points for holding and completing for set completion, but not for off-platform purchases. It says set completion, though. This is something that's going to have to be clarified. Because that, to me, they directly conflict with one another. Because it says you won't get the one-off points, and then it very clearly states up here that completing a set is a one-off point. Because if that's the case, and hear me out on this, and this is just my dubious mind at work, what prevents you and a friend who hold different sets from transferring the sets to one another so that you get the benefits of holding all the sets, you get all of those points, and then you just immediately transfer those sets back to the person for free? That doesn't make sense to me. That's a interesting question, Nothing, because that doesn't make sense to me. We're going to explore that. I might even message a Comey about that because, yeah, that doesn't make sense. Paul Davies, can't get my head around the comic points. I have 4 full comic sets, including Secret Rare, and versions up to Ultra Rare for all others alongside my usual collectible sets. Don't know if it's worth selling the Secret Rare comics to complete some more collectible sets. So the collectible sets, yes. So yeah, I agree. The comic section is a little complicated. So from my understanding, and I want to make sure that I'm quoting it so that I'm not. So if you own all the issues related in a specific series, you'll receive 5 points daily. So if they've released 4 separate issues of Amazing Spider-Man and a collector owns all 4 issues, you'll get points for each of the issues plus 5 points for earning all related comic issues in the series. So you could own a comic issue in a series without owning all variants of that issue, right? Because an issue has 5 different variants, right? Like the common, uncommon, all the way up to secret rare. But you could hold just the common of all of the Amazing Spider-Man releases. And if you own all 4 of those issues, you'll get daily points for each of the issues you hold, which you'll get regardless, I think. Plus you get 5 points for holding all of that. But then it also says that one must collect each additional issue that comes out in the series in order to continue to earn series points. So I think your best bet is hold everything for now. Like, don't go crazy, right? Because like they said, like, don't make any rash decisions. But I would say the 4 full comic sets that you own, you'll get points for, oh my goodness. Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm not sure, brother. Paul, let me look into that. Because I'm not sure. Because I don't know. Because within the definition, right at the top, it says a collectible refers to all items that can be purchased, including digital comics. So you earn 1 point for every comic that you hold, right? Like realistically. And then, of course, the points diminish as the amount of comics that you hold goes down. So you don't get additional points for completing a set because sets don't exist in comics, but you do earn points from completing the series, which is at least 1 comic from each of the releases within a specific, like we're using Spider-Man as an example. And then you would still earn the points for holding those comics. So it's interesting. So if you hold 4 full comic sets, you're earning 20 points because you hold 20 comics, right? But you're not earning a set bonus for completing sets, but you will earn a series bonus if those sets that you hold are of the same series, if that makes sense. Pavle says, is it similar to Quid point system? Possibly. Oh, I have absolutely no idea. I haven't looked at Quid's point system at all. You'd have to give me some context. I could look at some point, but I've personally never used Quid, so I'm not sure. DW says, is that per day per holding? Yes. So you earn a specific point per day, depending on the rarity of the collectible that you own, depending on the mint number, and depending on whether it completes a set, you do earn points per day. The 100 points or the one-off points, you only earn 1 time, but you will earn points daily. Once every 24 hours for collectibles that you hold. And Michael Anderson, thank you so much again for the super chat. Much appreciated, brother. Thank you so much. Brennan says, Omi pumping. It's pumping the brakes is what it's doing. It's almost up at 72. Go back up. Go to your home. It's doing well, though. Anything in the 7s is always a good day. Brennan says, MCP Pro is free for the top 6 ranks. Hopefully I don't have to pay that subscription. Hey man, get to the top 6 ranks. You don't have to, right? Like that's the entire incentive. They're incentivizing people to try and get up to that level so that you don't have to do that. It's fantastic. DW says, thinking to sell my ultra rare Labbit to complete Spidey set, need the ultra rare. Not sure if that's a good idea or not with Labbits having interoperability. Yeah, I mean, at that point, I don't really think you're looking at it from a point perspective, right? You're looking at it from a financial perspective. And I am the worst person to give you advice on when or when not to sell a collectible. I'm good with the token, but when it comes to the collectibles, I'm not built for it, man. I'll be honest with you. It's an interesting thought. I mean, I would say to complete the Spidey set, it's probably worth it. Maybe not from a financial perspective, but from a points perspective, right? Because completing a set, you get 100 points. That ultra rare Labbit is going to give you 1 point because it doesn't complete a set, right? So I would say from a points perspective, that makes sense. But I mean, only you know that answer for sure, right? Justin says maybe you can only get points for completing a specific set once, no matter how many times you sell it back and buy it. Yeah, I agree, Justin. It makes absolutely no sense to me that you would be able to transfer a collectible back and forth. Like they say several times, right? Like they say right in the thing, like a couple times. There will be measures in place to prevent users from exploiting, abusing, or otherwise gaming the system. So I think you will be able to transfer a collectible once, but I still don't think that it will give you a set point. I think if you transfer a 1 of 1 that completes a set, and actually now that I think about it, because we were talking about it a minute or two ago, if you transfer a collectible that completes a set, you will not get the set bonus. In my opinion. 100 points received when completing a set, but in order to do that, it says collectibles received via transfer will not receive the one-off points listed earlier in the article. The one-off points earlier in the article that were listed were the completing of the set for 100 points. So I do not think that you will be able to game the system. I think unless you buy the collectible legitimately, you will not be able to get the points for completing that set. Now, you could still theoretically try and game the system in that, like I said, you could put a Spider or a Superman up for sale in the marketplace for $1 for your buddy and hope that he's able to buy it right away. And that way it doesn't really cost him anything. He gets 100 points and then he just transfers it back to you. And then he'd get the points because it's technically a market purchase. But remember, people will still find a way to run bots and scripts that will always exist. And bots and emulators and scripts are going to put in, any collectible of a certain rarity listed at a certain price, scalp for me. So you need to be very, very careful if you're going to do something like that and try and undercut or find a way to game the system. Like, they're not dumb, right? Like, Veve and Comey knows what they're doing. Yeah, it's interesting. I wouldn't recommend doing it, but it's a thought. Glad it's not just me being confused by the comic info. Yeah, for sure. No, and I'm sure like they'll release, like, of course, in the AMA tomorrow, I'm sure they will be speaking on it and they'll be able to speak on it, a lot more articulately than I have. Of course, this is just my cursory read of it. I haven't had time to digest it and really understand all of the finer nuances of it. But for me, based on reading it and letting it soak in a little bit, for me, you'll get 5 points for having 5 collectibles that complete a set. You will not get the 100 point set bonus. But if you own 3 different collectibles within a series of comics, so whether it be Fantastic Four, Amazing Spider-Man, whatever, you will earn an additional 5 points per day for holding those collectibles. So they're basically saying like, hey, yeah, comic books, like no one cares about them. Well, you better start caring about them now because those are the ones that are also going to go up in value. They've literally made it so that there's not a single collectible in the marketplace that will not go up in value. It's absurd. Absolutely absurd. They're geniuses. And really, does anything surprise you at this point? It doesn't surprise me anymore. Kurt. BitBoy talking about Veve and Disney partnership today. Oh boy, that's why. Now we know why the Omi token price is going back down. Oh good, it went back up to 71. Guys, for those of you that don't know, all jokes aside, BitBoy historically, like, he'll talk about a coin and then it'll just tank immediately afterwards because people take that as the top or whatever. So I don't know what he said in context with the Veve and Disney partnership, but hey, nothing wrong with a little bit of publicity. And once again, I'll reiterate, because we're almost at the end of the stream, for the 53 of you that are watching right now, I think I'm going to drop a breadcrumb at the end about a little bit of publicity that you guys might be seeing very shortly that I think you guys might be interested in. Justin, you would have to compare the rarities in said set compared to a typical 5-piece comic set. If the collectible set has less than 5 pieces and no secret rare, you might earn more from the comic set. You just blew my mind, man. But my math could be all way off. Yeah, like and this is the thing, like, this is the cursory read. It's so hard to know for sure, right? Like, who knows? I have absolutely no idea. You're probably right. like that's probably the case, but yeah, I'm really going to have to review it. I'll probably end up making a video on it at some point, other than obviously this live. I appreciate everyone that's kind of stuck with me through it for the, whatever it was, the 2 hours that I've been live with it. It's really exciting. That's my takeaway from it. Yeah, I'm almost at a loss for words, which doesn't happen very often with me. So, with that being said, Kurt, are you going to be here in 1 hour? I need to go to the gym real quick. No, I'm wrapping up right now, brother. We hit the 2 hour mark. My voice is shot here, and we've gone through a lot of good info. I'm going to go see what else is going on in the community. But with that being said, how do I want to put this? Stay tuned in the next 24 hours for a video that is being released about the OMI token. I'm not the one releasing the video, but in my opinion, you could say that it's going to be magic. That's a little cryptic message for you there. I'll let you guys interpret that how you want. Stay tuned. It's a very exciting time. It's been a very exciting few days, and it will continue to be an exciting few days, weeks, and months moving forward. I'm very excited. I appreciate everyone sticking around with me through it. Of course, you could always hit me up in the socials if you guys have any thoughts or questions. I see some people are guessing. Some people in the comment section, which I find is very interesting. I mean, I really couldn't say one way or the other, but it's yeah. I mean, it sounds like we got a pretty smart community, but we'll see. I mean, I'm just not going to say anything, and we'll see what happens. I appreciate you guys sticking with me for the time being. And I look forward to doing it again with you guys soon. I love you all. Peace.